Bum 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 bum. It's in the singing of a street corner choir. It's home. What song is that? Oh, it's true. It feels like Christmas from off the Christmas movie. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum, Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I started singing right before I sing a lot. Terribly, by the way. I am not a good singer, but I was singing right before it started, and for some reason, Muppet Christmas Carol song has popped in my head, and I don't know why. But I stand by it. It's a good song. Hello, everybody. So we're coming to you live from my condo. Oh. Hello, Frank fam. So yeah, we're coming to you from the condo. Today we're gonna be doing what we've been doing, giving you guys some options, and you guys are gonna be choosing what topic you want to have it. So we talk about out of 3 possible topics. We'll put the topic choices up here in just a few seconds after we get a few more people on here. Right now it's showing we've got 3 people watching, and we usually get a lot more. So we'll give people a few more minutes. But how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing well out there? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully that's the first time in a long time I got the alert for the show going live on Facebook. So hopefully that will bring more people in as well. Oh, and it looks like it is. Hey. So how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing well out there? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Today is another wonderful Wednesday show. I've been doing pretty darn good on this crazy challenge of me versus you guys, of trying to do as many attractions as possible. But right now the park is starting to pick up, and it's driving me crazy. So today I did a total of 10 attractions. Yeah, 10. I think it was 10. I did the Barnstormer. I did the Swiss Family Treehouse. I did Tom Sawyer Island. I did People Mover. I did People Mover again. Got evacuated the second time on People Mover, and everything else. Hi, Brent. Enjoyed your short about Pizza Dragon. Thank you, because no one watched it. Okay, here. I'm going to show you this, because this has been... I don't know what's going on. I do know what's going on, because every now and then you'll just have these videos. Some videos will do extremely well, and then other ones will just be not good at all. So here, if you look at these right here, so 1.7, 2.3 views, and these are from just a few days ago. 1.6 thousand, 1.2, and then 45 views on the Pete's Dragon one. What? And it's a third of the people who watched it like it. So yeah, so I don't know why, but yeah. Hopefully it keeps on going up. The one that I posted earlier today, 3 hours ago, the Father of the Bride reference, has 531 views. So that one is doing pretty well right now. And it's going to keep on going up. So, and that's not the official count, actually. So here, if we go here, this is where it's currently sitting. It currently has 782 views. So that one's moving up. I think that's a good video too. By the Pete's Dragon one was good too, and apparently it was not. Okay, so let's get this party started tonight. Like I said, we're going to be giving you guys 3 options of what you guys want to have it. So you go through. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Paige. We're going to have it so you guys are going to be choosing the topic of what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be giving you guys 3 options in just a few minutes here. Also, throw some ideas out. What type of topics would you like to possibly have while we go through our intro? And then what we might do is we might just go for 2 or 3 of your options, and then also I'll throw an option in there as well, and we'll vote that way. So let's get this party started. We are going to start the 722nd episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 722nd episode of the Wednesday show. Today is June 21st, 2023, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today, we are going to be going through and talking about the Disney topic of your choice. So if you guys have an idea of what you want to talk about, just throw it into the comments, and we will try to figure out exactly what our topic is going to be tonight. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. Oh, I see some topics popping up, and I kind of like these topics. So, what was I saying? Oh, so our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you don't already know, every single Saturday over on my YouTube channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be, but I guarantee you we're always going to be coming to you from someplace at Disney. So make sure you join us every single Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time for some Disney fun. This past week, we came from Grand Fiesta Tour. This next Saturday, I don't even have the park reserved yet. So throw into the comments also, which park do you want me to make reservations to? Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, or Epcot. I'm not going to go to Magic Kingdom, but one of those other three for Saturday. And we'll say whoever the first person to throw one of those three parks into the comments, that's the park I'm going to, without a doubt. So I'm going to keep my eye on the chat to see. Oh, AI, or is that supposed to be AK for Animal Kingdom? That's another AI. I'm assuming you're trying to say AK and you keep on saying, or maybe that's a little lowercase l. Animal Kingdom. Okay, so Animal Kingdom. We're going to make the reservation right now for Animal Kingdom while we're on here. As always, if you guys have not been checking out our videos every single Saturday, make sure you, or not every Saturday, every single day, make sure you join us every single day for our YouTube videos along with our YouTube shorts. Keep on liking, keep on commenting, keep on sending your friends over. Speaking of which, we will go into extra innings tonight if we continue to grow on the amount of subscribers. So let's give it a look here. We are currently at 2,930 subscribers over on YouTube. So if that goes up as the show goes on tonight, we will continue going to extra innings as the show goes on as well. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. Shazams. Make sure you stop by. It's allaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All of their services are absolutely, positively, 100%ly free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. Okay, so tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through and doing one of three topics. I'm going to be giving you guys three topics based off of what you guys have been kind of thrown into the chat room, along with, I'll throw out the one that we throw out every week, which is the 100 Years of Disney. Continuing our look at every single year throughout the 100-year celebration. I forgive you for not answering my question. That's such a mean question. And it was 2 weeks in a row that you sent me mean questions. What was the one before? It was, which one of these would you give up? People Mover, No Way Jose, and something else. And it's just mean. It's just absolutely mean. Okay, so our three options for you guys to vote on are going to be Disney 100 series. I love talking Disney food and dining, but sadly, you weren't a foodie. We'll throw Disney food out there as a topic, and we'll kind of try to narrow it down a little bit here as well. And then I like this idea. Let's expand it on a little bit. Look at Muffin. What's your thoughts on Jollywood? What will make it different? Let's not just do that. Let's talk about Disney holidays. So we'll do kind of a, we're exactly 6 months and 4 days out from Christmas. So those are your three options. Disney 100 series, continuing that. Our Disney food series, or a Disney holiday special. So throw your votes into the comments below. We will go through and have it so whatever has the most votes in, let's say 90 seconds, will be our winner. So again, our three topics are that you guys are going to be voting for. And if we get the Disney food one, we'll go into a little bit more thing. And if you have the Disney 100, if you don't remember, you guys actually choose which years we go through. So you guys have a little bit of control over two of them. And then the other one, we'll just kind of talk about holidays and things that you can do during the holidays. And we'll talk a little bit about the Jolly Holiday special. Not the Jolly Holiday, but okay, so I like my condo cooler, so I usually have a long sleeve on here, and then I can roll up the sleeves. It makes it more comfortable for me here, especially when it's like a cajillion degrees outside. And then I just always have. But yeah, so this is which shirt is this? Oh, 10K. What year? This is 2021. This is the virtual one. This was before they came back. Holidays. We got a lot of holidays there. I'll be at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on September 4th. I have not got any Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets yet this year. Not sure when I'm going to go. I will go at some point. I know the tickets are selling out, though, so I have to figure that out sometime in the very near future. So we're going to be doing a holiday episode today. Ding, 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 ding. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the time we talk holidays. I don't know why I'm singing now, but it's that type of day. Okay, so let's talk about holidays at Disney and what you can expect at holidays at Disney. And before we even get started, because I want this to be as interactive as possible, let me know in the comments, what types of things do you want to talk about? Because there's so much stuff that we can talk about when it comes to holidays at Disney. We have talked about it so many times in the past, but what type of things do you want to know? Obviously, we've got the big one that started off this whole topic of what are your thoughts on Jollywood and what will make it different? That'll be our first question that we go through and answer. But let's also go to more questions. So if you guys have any questions about anything and everything with the Disney and its holidays, this coming up here, we will talk about it because we could talk a lot. There's literally 4 parks that all feature holiday stuff in some way, shape, or form. All of the resorts do something special, along with Disney Springs as well. So there's so many different things that we can talk about with the holidays, and we're going to try to answer as many questions as possible. I think this is going to be more of a question answer episode, but we're going to focus on holidays because, like I said, 6 months, 4 days until Christmas. Okay, so let's start off with our first question there that started off this whole segment. What's your thoughts on Jollywood? Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, this week Disney did announce a brand new after hours event where you can have Arby's roast beef sandwiches. No, you can an after hours event over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is going to be called Jollywood. Now, the Jollywood special event is going to be different from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So we will be having 2 different Christmas parties going on at 2 different parks. Now, what are my thoughts on it and what's going to make it different? Okay, so here's my first thought. First thought is Disney is really killing it on these after-hour events these days. They are paying, or not, they're not paying. People are paying a fortune to go to these after-hour events. People are paying over $100 to go to Epcot for like 3 extra hours at night. Now, one of the things that people love about these events is usually not a lot of people are there, which means you are hitting a lot of the big attractions with no waits whatsoever. So I think one of the things that they came up with was, hey, we might as well do this Jollywood event because we are having a lot of people who are already paying for these events at Epcot. They're paying for it at Magic Kingdom. And we also have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party over at Magic Kingdom as well. And people are paying a fortune to go to these different events. So why don't we have one that is themed around Disney's Hollywood Studios? Now, this is what I really like about this idea is Disney's Hollywood Studios has something special about it that Magic Kingdom doesn't have, Epcot doesn't have, and Animal Kingdom doesn't have during the holiday season. And I don't know what it is. I'm going to start that off here. I don't know what it is, but there is something uniquely Christmas about Disney's Hollywood Studios. I know. I love the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights was one of my favorite things that Disney's ever done. I still, to this day, think that it might be my favorite thing that Disney's ever done, period. Yes, that includes like People Mover and No Way Jose. I just absolutely love the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights. It was something so magical. When that closed down, I was like in mourning. I didn't want to go to Disney's Hollywood Studios during the holiday season for a long time. I still went the next year, but it pained me to go there the next year. But what I did realize that I really enjoy about Disney's Hollywood Studios is even though we lost the lights, we still had a lot of magic in the park. So just starting off on Hollywood Boulevard, there are so many different things that really just encompass you with that Christmas feeling. The garland that's going above you. And then if you go over to Echo Lake, we've got the greatest Christmas tree on Disney property. I will fight anyone who says otherwise. There's a lot of great Christmas trees, so I'm not going to fight anyone. But I love the placement of that Christmas tree right in the middle of Echo Lake with Gertie, with the Santa hat, and then all the different Christmas ornaments out in the lake as well. All of it makes you just feel like it's Christmas. Then in addition to that, over on Sunset Boulevard, we've got the holiday seasons on the Tower of Terror, which I think is hilarious because the first time I saw it, I was thinking, this is the Tower of Terror. It's like one of the scariest attractions after like Astro Orbiter in all of Walt Disney World. And here we have projections of Kermit the Frog, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Toy Story, all being displayed on it. And it feels like the happiest go lucky Christmas thing in the entire world. So we have that. And all of Sunset Boulevard, it just feels like Christmas when you're down there. And then on top of that, we have the projection show that's actually found on the Great Movie Ride itself, or not the Great Movie Ride, the Groundless Chinese Theater itself. And that is all to the theme of Prep and Landing, the show that was a Christmas special that Disney created back in 2009, I want to say. I could be wrong on the year, but I think it's 2009. And when they have that projection show and it kind of goes through all the Christmas holiday specials that Disney's done throughout the years and brings everything together, all of it is just so magical. In addition to that, we also have Toy Story Land goes all out on Christmas as well because they have the giant ham sugar cookie. Remember that? It's the coolest thing. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. But okay, so what are my thoughts on Jollywood? What's going to make it different? This is what I'm expecting. I am expecting that we will get a special Christmas show of Frozen Ever After. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't really looked at all the announcements of everything that's going to go along with it. This is just what I'm thinking. This is what I'm hoping. This is what I got a feeling that we might see. We already have snow inside of, not Frozen Ever After, but Frozen Sing-Along. I think we're going to get a special show of the Frozen Sing-Along during the holiday season where it might be Olaf doing the, that's what happens at that time of year. And then, goes through all the things. I think because we already have Anna and Elsa and Olaf in place over there, I can see it having it so maybe we'll get a special thing going on over there as well. In addition to that, I think obviously having it so you can go on every single attraction with low wait times is highly, highly likely for why people will want to go over to this thing. But at the same time, I feel like we're going to have a special Fantasmic. We're going to have a special Frozen show. And then I also feel like they're going to have special things kind of scattered throughout the park as well to kind of draw you to all different aspects of the park. Think about it. Like, I could see it so we go over to Muppet Vision 3D, and if you want to, you can watch Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know why you would want to watch Muppet Christmas Carol when you're at a holiday party, but at the same time, I could see it so they could have Muppet Christmas Carol playing there. Or even better, I could also see it so we could go over there and actually meet the one and only Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit and Miss Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit, and all the different characters as their characters in Muppet Christmas Carol. In addition to that, a few years ago, they had a new Christmas party that started over at Disney California Adventure, and at that one, they actually brought in Goofy as Bob Cratchit. No, not Bob Cratchit. Wait, what's his name? Marley. Bob Marley. Not Bob Marley. Marley, the business partner of Ebenezer Scrooge. And so they had him along with Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge there as meet and greets as well. So I can see them bringing all these different things in there to have it so it becomes just a really cool, just a cool holiday party that's unique, completely different than what we have over at the Magic Kingdom. I'm expecting maybe a parade. I'm expecting a lot. I'm probably going to go over there and there's going to be absolutely nothing there. But overall, I think it will be a very cool thing. I'm just speculating on a lot of different things right now. But I do think it's going to be a very cool thing that we'll maybe... I'm going to check it out for sure. But I'm just not sure. Okay. Let's go to our next question. Okay, so again, if you guys have any questions about... Today we're doing a holiday episode. So if you guys want to, throw it over. So what's your game plan to see the special events and overlays? So this is how I do the holiday season at Disney World almost every single time. I always make sure that I go to at least one Christmas party. I like Mickey's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party better than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. However, with that in mind, I do love going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. One of the things that I always have to do at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is go meet Scrooge McDuck. Hands down, the best thing that they have. In addition to that, they do have the really cool castle show where they go all out and they sing "It Feels Like Christmas." Is this why we got onto this? Because I was saying "It Feels Like Christmas" at the start of the show, unprompted. No, it's not. This is just all kind of ironically coming together. So I do love seeing that show. I love going on as many rides as possible. I love having it so there is the Space Mountain special ride through where everything's like blasting Christmas lights and there's like lights everywhere opposed to the usual darkness that you have in Space Mountain. But I make sure I go over there. Usually my days off are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I work nighttime. So usually I don't get to experience a lot of the nighttime stuff at the other parks. So during most of the year, I usually go to Magic Kingdom Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays on my days off. However, during the holidays, I do typically try to make sure that I go over to the other parks as well, because there's a lot to soak in over there as well. Now, if you go over to Disney's Animal Kingdom, you can pretty much get most of the Animal Kingdom holiday stuff during the day, because the main thing is the character menagerie that they have in the front. And it's like all like little wooden characters that kind of come out and they're just, really, really cool. And then in addition to that, on the Tree of Life, they do have a holiday show, which kind of goes through all those other characters. All the different woodland characters are being projected on there with a Christmas theme around it. Again, really, really cool. Over at Epcot, they do have special fireworks sometimes, not all the time. And then they also have all the storytellers all around World Showcase as well. So overall, both really cool things. But then, like I said, Disney's Hollywood Studios has some special things during the day. Like they've got a special band that comes out and performs different Christmas songs, an a cappella group during the day. But then at night is when like all the really cool stuff happens over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So I do try to go over there during the nights on my days off to check out some of those things. But in addition to that, I have to go to every single resort during the holiday season as well. My two personal ones that I have to go to every single holiday season: Wilderness Lodge, because Wilderness Lodge just has one of the most beautiful Christmas trees you'll ever see in your life. And when you're in there, you do not feel like you're in Central Florida, but you actually feel like you're up in some cabin in northern Wisconsin, enjoying some hot cocoa while admiring the beautiful Christmas tree. It's unbelievable every single time that I go see it. And then the other one that I always have to go see, and we always do a broadcast of, is the Fort Wilderness Campground. I just love walking around the Fort Wilderness Campground every single year and checking out all of the Christmas decorations the guests actually put up instead of everything else. In addition to that, obviously Disney Springs too. Disney Springs usually has the Stitch scavenger hunt, so I always try to go through and check out the Stitch scavenger hunt as well. Oh, it jumped over here. This appears to be the Christmas party is on YouTube. Yay! The Osborne Lights, I miss it. Oh, I miss it so much. You never got to see let's talk a little bit about the Osborne Lights, because the Osborne Lights is just one of my favorite things in the entire world. Okay, so the Osborne Lights, the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights, has a really cool, unique history about it, and we're going to talk about it for the next, let's say 5 minutes, maybe 10. It could be the rest of the show, because I could go on about these lights forever and ever and ever. So the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights originally started in Little Rock, Arkansas, by a man named Jennings Osborne. Now, Jennings Osborne actually put up a bunch of Christmas lights because his daughter, Breezy, all she wanted for Christmas that year was a lot of Christmas lights. That was the only thing that she asked for. She said, "Daddy, I want a lot of Christmas lights for Christmas this year." And so he said, "Yeah, no problem." So he went out and bought 1 million Christmas lights, as you do. So he decorated everything outside of his house, including the trees, including the driveway and everything else. He had it so there was Christmas lights everywhere. And he had so many Christmas lights that eventually a lot of people in the area started to go through and drive by because they wanted to see these amazing Christmas lights that every single person in Little Rock, Arkansas was talking about. Eventually got to the point where his neighbors started to complain because there was all of these different traffic backups because of these Christmas lights. And so what happened was they were getting so upset with him, and they said, listen, you have to take it down with Christmas lights because this is absolutely ridiculous. And he said, if you want to, hear me out, what if I just buy your houses? Because he had a lot of money. So they said, okay. So the people on both sides of him sold their houses, and naturally what he did was he put Christmas lights on those houses as well. So now we have 3 houses with millions, like I'm not even exaggerating, literally millions of Christmas lights on them. And many people are now coming more and more to, go see these lights. Now it got to the point where he couldn't keep on buying houses, so he would eventually have his own street. Because, he just didn't have that much money. But enough of his neighbors started to get upset that it became a lawsuit where people were actually suing him because he was backing up traffic so badly where people who lived near him were literally taking hours to get home every single night in the Christmas time to just go be with their loved ones in the holiday season. So people were getting so upset with him. So they finally decided, hey, you know what? We're going to sue him and we're going to see what comes out about it. Eventually, it became such huge news, not just in Little Rock, Arkansas, but all around the country, that eventually there was a guy who worked at Disney, whose name was John, who saw this story. And he pitched the other thing to his team and said, you know what? It'd be kind of interesting if maybe we just asked him if we could have the Christmas lights and we could have it actually here at the park. And the team said, that's a great idea. So they called him up, they pitched the idea to him, and it ends up that he had been going to Disney pretty much every single year since his daughter was born. And he said, you know what we want to do is we want to have it so we bring your Christmas lights over here, but, obviously you wouldn't have your Christmas lights anymore, and we'll see what happens. And he said, no, that's a great idea. And they said, okay, how much do you want for them? And he said, all I ask is that you put me and my family up in the nicest suite at Disney during the Christmas holiday season so we can go and spend the time with our Christmas lights. Done. You guys got it. So they gave him the nicest suite inside the Grand Floridian for years and years and years and years and years. And in turn, so first they put all these Christmas lights on Residential Street. Now, if you remember the Studio Backlot Tour, which opened up in 1989, May 1st, 1989 to be exact, and would go on all the way until 2004. There was a part, or it kept on going past 2004, but in 2004 is when the Residential Street closed down. You would actually used to be able to go through this Residential Street, and when you would go through, you would actually see different famous houses from famous TV shows or movies, including things like the Golden Girls house and Ernest Here at Stupid's house. That's a good one. And you would actually go through and see that. So what they would do during the holiday season is they would not take the tram down that street, but instead they would decorate all of the different lights and have it so guests could walk around and explore the Christmas lights and all the Christmas wonder. Now in 2004, late 2004, eventually Residential Street would disappear, and in 2005 we get a brand new attraction called Lights Motors Action. And when Lights Motors Action would open up, unfortunately Residential Street wasn't there, so what they decided to do was move the Christmas lights over to the Streets of America. So when they moved it over to the Streets of America, they had a brand new home on both the main street along with the San Francisco Street off to the side, and people could enjoy it for years and years and years and years to come. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights is when they were going through and opening up all of the different truckloads, not just one truckload, truckloads of Christmas lights, and trying to figure out exactly where everything was going to go and tagging every different thing and saying, okay, this is this, this is this, this is that. Eventually what they came across was a giant purple cat. And they called him up and they said, we came across this purple cat while we were going through all your different stuff. What's up with the purple cat? He said, oh, I'm sorry, that's for my Halloween display. And they said, okay, we'll send it back to you. And he said, no, don't worry about it. Just keep it. So the purple cat actually became a treasured thing found throughout the the display every single year. And what they would do is they would actually hide the purple cat in a different location every single Christmas season. Now, eventually, what would happen is when they made the announcement of Galaxy's Edge along with Toy Story Land, unfortunately, a lot of different attractions would close up, including Lights Motors Action, including Studio Backlot Tour, and of course, including the Streets of America. So when this would all close up, they decided that what they were going to do was they would get rid of all of the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights. So with the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights disappearing, unfortunately, we had no more Christmas spirit. I mean, we still got Christmas spirit, but like I said, it was like the most beautiful thing in the whole world. I actually have a YouTube video from years ago, like way before I started doing daily videos, of one of the most beautiful displays of lights that you'll ever see. It is still, to this day, it's one of my top 5 favorite songs of all time. It's the Walking in a Winter Wonderland, but it's an instrumental version that was made specifically for the Streets of America. It's like doom doom doom, bow, 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 bow. But going along with the music, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and I miss it every single Christmas season. And it's one of those songs also, I will literally be driving my car and all of a sudden I'll be like, doo doo doo, bow, 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 bow. I'll just, start humming it. Oh, wait. Anyways, that was a very, very long answer for Osborne, for someone saying Osborne Lights. I miss it. I miss it too. That's my bottom line. I miss it too. I think it was hands down one of the greatest, most amazing things that Disney's ever done. So the very last year that I was around, I rang, and so the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights would go on through, usually it would go through the marathon weekend. So like usually the first weekend of January, every now and then the second week of January, depending on when New Year's Day actually fell. And then it got back up. So, so when we would go through and have it, so you would go down, you would actually run down the Osborne Family Spectacle, but that's besides the point. One year, I spent most of the day at Disney's Hollywood Studios taking the lights one last time, and then again, keeping in mind this is New Year's Eve. Then I ran over to Epcot, rang in the New Year there, and when it finished, I always park. And still, I use this still to this day. This is actually a touring tip for you guys. If you guys are ever coming down to Walt Disney World and want to celebrate New Year's Eve in Epcot, which I highly recommend. It's so much better celebrating New Year's Eve in Epcot than Magic Kingdom, 1,000,000%. I've celebrated Magic Kingdom New Year's Eve twice. Both good, not great. But in my opinion, the Epcot fireworks on New Year's Eve, 1,000,000 times better. The atmosphere, 1,000,000 times better. Everything about it, like there's a giant clock countdown on the Spaceship Earth, like counting down until the moment the New Year is going to start. Really cool, different features that are all around the park. But that's besides the point. So if you ever go and celebrate New Year's Eve at Epcot, which I highly recommend, what I always do is I park my car at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and then I walk the path or take the Skyliner over to Epcot, celebrate, yay. And then when the celebration's done at Epcot, most people are stuck in that parking lot for literally 2-3 hours. But if you do the walk over to Disney's Hollywood Studios back to your car, usually you can get out of Hollywood Studios along with out of Disney property within minutes. It still takes a little bit longer than usual, but within minutes. But anyways, so this one year I celebrated, and then I was like, ooh, Hollywood Studios closes in less than an hour. I can get over there and see the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights. And so that's how I rang in that New Year, and that was also the last year that it was ever around. Okay, let's keep on going through your questions. I like the shop windows are dressed up for Christmas. Reminds me of my childhood. Yes, like little dancing. I love those. Glad I'm not the only one who's scared of Astro Orbiter. I'll still go on Astro Orbiter, but I do think it's the scariest ride in Disney World. I'm not even joking. I really do think it's the scariest one. Wait, what food item did I talk about? I don't even remember. The advertisement shows Kermit and Miss Piggy as the main lead for the event. Okay. Boo to You is the best parade, hands down. Yes. Boo to you. Boo to you. Boo to you and you to you and you to you to you. Are there any overlays at MGM? So for Christmas overlays, so let's do a quick little recap of the Christmas overlays. There's not a whole lot around Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, Disneyland gets a lot, but we don't get a lot over here. So we get the Jingle Cruise, and we get the Jingle Cruise. We also get the Speedway, which I always find really funny. That the Speedway has an overlay, and then there is also a overlay of Space Mountain if you go during the party. And then over at Epcot, we get an overlay for Living with the Land, which is amazing. I absolutely love that overlay. I think it's subtle, but it's really cool. And then we also get a special Christmas song on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which not the greatest, but it's okay. And then is there anything else? I think that might be it. I always wanted them to put like Christmas hats on the, elephants on the safari. They never took that idea. But yeah, I think I can't think of anything at Studios that has an overlay off the top of my head. I can't think of. Love wandering around the campground during the holidays. Best. Ooh, forgot about checking out the campground during the Halloween trip. Do you ever have problems getting into the different resorts just to visit without having a reservation for something there? I know Fort Wilderness can be tricky. So it really depends on which one. Hey, Gary. It depends on the resort. It also depends on the day of the week. So usually I'm very honest with them during the holiday season. I will literally tell them, hey, I'm here to check out the Christmas decorations. And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh, yeah, go ahead. And then there's some times where they're like, oh, if you can park at this location and then come to this spot, blah, 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 blah. What I have done in the past a few times during the holiday season is I have gone through and went to Disney Springs, hopped on a bus to whatever resort came first, went over there, and then kind of hopped around from that point. Or what you can also do is if you are going to any of the Magic Kingdom resorts, you can park at Magic Kingdom and hop on the monorail, and you can hit Grand Floridian, Polynesian, and Contemporary with no problem whatsoever. Also, if you go over to Epcot, you can go check out the Beach Club, Yacht Club, and Boardwalk, along with the Swan and Dolphin with no issues as well. Or you can take the Skyliner over from Disney's Hollywood Studios over to Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, and Riviera. And then if you want to go over to like Saratoga Springs, you can park at Disney Springs. You can walk over there. So usually the most difficult one to get to would be the one you just said, which is the campground. And the campground, sometimes they're stingy about it, sometimes they're not. It really depends on the day. I've had both issues, or I've had both situations happen. 90% of the time, I would say they've let me in, but then another 10% of the time, they're like, nope, sorry. And they'll tell you, like, go to Magic Kingdom, take the monorail over, take the boat over. It's like, oh, that's troubling, but okay. That's actually how I went over there this past year for Christmas. Okay, I love them. I would get teary-eyed every time it first came out. Oh, I love it. One of my goals in life for the Osborne Family Special of Lights was to be the person who flipped on the switch, and I never was picked. Yeah, they also have snow during the light show. Yep. Why is it better? I'm assuming that this is a reference to the fireworks or New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve at Magic Kingdom, they got like a dance party over in Tomorrowland. They got like a few little dance parties kind of scattered around, but nothing like really, I don't know. So Epcot, I think the fireworks are so cool. So what they do for the fireworks, okay, so Magic Kingdom, the fireworks are cool for New Year's Eve, but I don't think they're like over the top cool where it's like, oh, I need to go see this right now. So at Magic Kingdom, what they'll do is they'll actually go through and have it so like they do the countdowns like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Happy New Year. But at Epcot, what they do is they go through and they do like, I was going to say illuminations, but not illuminations. But we'll say illuminations for the sake of saying illuminations. They'll do illuminations. and have it so it ends about 5 minutes before. And then they kind of come on and they say, while we were just minutes away from celebrating the new year, some of our friends around the world have already rang in the new year. So let's say 2024. And they go, for instance, in Japan at this time in the morning, Japan rang in the year 2024. And then above the Japan pavilion, massive firework display celebrating the new year for the Japan pavilion. And they're like, and then 1 hour later in China, our friends over in China celebrate the new year. Again, massive firework display over China. And then they go through every single one of the countries except for America, Mexico, and Canada, because we're obviously just about to start ringing in the new year. And then what they do is they say, but now it's our turn. It's like, oh my gosh. And then they go, let's ring in the new year together. And that's the voice too. Like the whole time he's like, let's do this thing. Let's go celebrate Disney style. And so how they do it is they above the Japan pavilion, fireworks 10 above Morocco, 9 above France, 8 above UK, 7 above Canada, 6 above Mexico, 5 above Norway, 4 above China, 3 above Germany, 2 above Italy, 1, and then everywhere, all above all the different countries, above America, and then above everything World Showcase, massive firework display as all of a sudden Old Lang Syne plays, and the fireworks are like, and your shirt's vibrating because it's so intense, and you're just living life to its fullest, and it's the greatest fireworks show that you'll ever see. And I've been so mad every time that I have to work on New Year's Eve because I miss it. Now that I'm saying that, do I work on New Year's Eve this year? I missed it last year, and I was really bummed. Like, I was really, really bummed that I missed it. Okay, whereas I'll be where I have to request that day off now because it is the coolest fireworks show in the entire world. Oh yeah, let's go. Do they add new trees to the Christmas tree trail every year at Disney Springs? So they kind of switch out a few. So like this year they had an Encanto tree. Obviously, because the film was such a massive hit, they had to throw an Encanto tree in there. Now, the Christmas tree trail isn't what it used to be. The Christmas tree trail has always been in the past it used to be in the parking lot or where the old bus loop was, where you would actually go through and all the trees would be there. And then 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe it was 3 years ago now, but I want to say 2 years ago, they switched it. So the Christmas tree trail is actually all of Disney Springs. So you can kind of go through all of Disney Springs and you're actually doing a scavenger hunt, trying to find all of them, or you don't have to do the scavenger hunt if you don't want to. But you go through and you actually try to find them. And then if you find all of them, you get like a little button saying, I found all the Christmas trees. And then they're like, why'd you giggle like that? Let's go to our next questions here. Again, if you guys have any questions, throw your questions in there. We are getting closer to the end of our hour. Unless we got new subscribers, then we're going to be going into a few extra ratings here. Do you prefer today's Hollywood Studios or Hollywood Studios of 10 years ago with great movie ride, backlot tour, Streets of America, Osborne Family, spectacle of dancing lights? It depends. It really depends on my mood. It depends on the day. I really love today's Hollywood Studios. I really do love today's Hollywood Studios. I love Galaxy's Edge. I've been a huge Star Wars fan my entire life. So Galaxy's Edge speaks to me in ways that other things did not speak to me. I think just a great land with two great attractions and so many amazing details kind of scattered throughout all of it. I also love Toy Story Land. I think Toy Story Land is such an underrated land. I think all three attractions there are great attractions. Yesterday on my Instagram story, someone said, what's your most underrated, or what's an attraction that you love that most people don't love? And I said the Speedway, but in my head, I was also like going between the Speedway and Aliens Rolling Saucers, because I think Aliens Rolling Saucers is such a goofy ride, but it's so much fun. With that being said, I really miss the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights. I miss the Streets of America. However, I don't feel like enough people appreciated the Streets of America. Like, I would go over there and it would be empty. There was one night my friend and I were literally trying to figure out which doors opened, like which gates opened, and we were just like taking pictures down in like stairwells and stuff like that because things would be unlocked and there was no one else there for hours. And then a cast member came by. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're just taking pictures." Like, "Oh, you should go to this one. This one's usually unlocked too." We're like, "Okay." But yeah, I feel like not enough people appreciated the streets of America. You go through there and it'd be empty unless it was the time for the Osborne Family Festival of Dancing Lights. The Backlot Tour. Again, I love the Backlot Tour. If you guys were with us last week for the Wednesday show, I don't remember how we got onto the topic. Yes, I do. Someone asked about the fish that were found at the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, because we're talking about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And someone asked about the fish at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and if any of them were still around. And I went through, because in my head, I can still picture everything about pretty much every attraction. But I just have a weird mind where I just remember everything. But I remember that warehouse like the back of my hand. I spent hours in that warehouse. I think that warehouse was amazing, and I don't think enough people appreciated that warehouse either. There's a lot of things that I feel like people just did not appreciate enough. That warehouse was one of them. There were so many cool details on there. I miss the Eiffel Tower a lot. Fun fact, you can still find a tower where the Eiffel Tower was. It's now just a tower of Jenga blocks with racks at the top of it. In Toy Story Land, that was the exact location where the Eiffel Tower once stood. But that's besides the point. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about Rex. And I really miss, I miss a lot of the old things. I miss Great Movie Ride. I love Great Movie Ride, but I do love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway a lot. And that's one of those that I always tell people about, who say they hate Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway because it took over the Great Movie Ride, or they hate Frozen Ever After because it took over Maelstrom or whatnot. I think they're both great attractions. I always say to people, okay, but if they were in two different spots, would you love it more? Because you can't blame the ride for replacing the other ride. It wasn't the new ride's fault for replacing it. It was some executive's decision on replacing it. So be mad at the executive. Don't be mad at the ride. That's my theory. But yeah, no, I don't think I prefer either one. I like both of them in their own way, shape, and form. I feel like current Hollywood studios has more to do for everyone. I feel like obviously there's 4 more attractions than what we used to have. I guess not than what we used to have, but there's 4 different attractions there opposed to Lights, Motors, Action and the Studio Backlot Tour and Great Movie Ride. But Great Movie Ride was replaced, but yeah. So I don't really prefer either one. I love both of them. I'm grateful for what we have now. I'm grateful for what we had then. Would I love to go on Studio Backlot Tour one more time? Yes. Would I love to go on Great Movie Ride one more time? Yes. Would I love to go through the animation building one more time? Yes. I would love to see all these different things again. Like, I love so many things. I always say when I go to these last days of different attractions, I feel like I'm watching a friend die, because someone like me goes to these attractions literally every single day. And when, for instance, a few weeks ago, we had the 10th anniversary of 11th anniversary of when Snow White Scary Adventures would close up, right? Yes, 11th. And that last day, I went on it, I think it was 27 times. That last week, I went on it like 52 times. So it was just one of my friends worked the attraction, so they could not let me go through the wheelchair accessible line. But it was one of those where watching it go away, watching the last guest go through, was heartbreaking. So yeah, I would always love to have those old things back, but at the same time, I can't not be grateful for what we have now. So long answer to a very simple question. I don't know which one I would prefer. I like both of them. Do they add any Christmas floats to the water pageant? Not that I can ever think of, at least not in the last 15 years. But I can't think of any time that they've ever added Christmas floats to the water pageant. It would be pretty cool if they did, though. I think it would actually be very cool. Yeah, so. Oh, wait, any other questions out there? Have a good night, Christine. She wrote that 8 minutes ago, so she's probably already having a good night. Any other questions out there about holidays or any other Disney things? Let's see where our subscriber count is. Have we gone up at all? If that video continued to go up, the Father of the Bride one that I posted earlier, usually when those go up, usually I'll get some more subscribers. The video's gone up, but the subscribers have not. We're still at 2930. 70 away. That's 70 away from our 3,000 mark. I've been wanting to hit that 3,000 mark for a long time. So hopefully we can get that 3,000 mark. My goal is by the end of the month. I don't know if it's going to happen. My goal is to get 1,000 attractions by the end of the month and 3,000 subscribers by the end of the month. I think both of them might be far-fetched goals, but I am going to still try my darndest to achieve both of those goals. Oh, any other questions out there? Was the No Way Jose? I talk about the No Way Jose all the time. I wouldn't say it's a far-fetched food. That's basic. I think ice cream is basic. I don't know. I talk about No Way Jose at least once a day. Like literally, and that's not even like a joke. Like every day of my life, I'm thinking about the No Way Jose. Oh, wait, any other questions? Otherwise, we might be wrapping this up a few minutes early here. Doesn't look like we have any coming through. We'll give a few more minutes just in case. Let's talk about that for a second. You don't add any reminders at the end of your shorts to subscribe for more Disney fun facts. The reason I don't is because I have on 5 or 6 videos, and all 5 of those 6 videos are the ones that YouTube is not putting into the algorithm as much. So those are the ones that have like very low views, and I am convinced that part of it is because I'm asking for more subscribers. So I could be wrong, but the 5 or 6 videos that I have added that at the end are like some of my worst ones ever. I do have a very funny video that I've been wanting to do for months now. The only problem with it is it's going to cost me money. Not a lot of money, but it's going to cost me enough money where I'm like, do I want to do this? Because I would have to buy something that I've never purchased before at Disney, ironically enough. Because I feel like most people purchase it. And yeah, so I want to post it, and at the end I would say, make sure to subscribe for more daily tips like this. But it's a joke. But it's one of those videos where I feel like it has potential on both YouTube and Instagram to go viral because it's so stupid, but it's so funny. Like so ridiculously stupid, but so ridiculously funny. And I almost did it last week, but I was afraid because I was going to someplace after I went to the park, and I was afraid it was going to get like when I make it, you'll see, because it's something that's it's big, so it's going to cost me more money than I really want to spend on a video. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's see here. I love the Disney cruise with the holiday themes. Going off with Frank Fam, what are your thoughts on the new Christmas events on the Disney Cruise Line? So I have been able to experience Christmas on the cruise line once. Wait a minute. I've done Halloween twice. I've done Christmas once. But I love the holidays on the cruise ships. I think they're great. I also did the Pixar Day at Sea this past year, which we talked about, or this year, I guess it was. Pixar Day at Sea. Yeah. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to put this. This was like the window cling. I don't want to put it on my window because I'm afraid that's going to get like sunburnt out. But I really like it. But anyways, I think a lot of them is something that's really cool, and I do enjoy them. The only thing I don't like about the Christmas events specifically is the gingerbread house, which I think is really cool. Don't get me wrong, I do think the gingerbread house is really cool that they have in the atriums of the ships, and each one is different and unique and special, and which is really cool. But when you're writing a book and you need to get every detail, and the gingerbread house covers paintings, it makes me crazy because I'm like, what are those that they have behind me? I need to go check them out. So yeah. But overall, I love the Disney cruises with the holiday themes. I want to do more and more and more of them. I just need more and more moolah to pull them off. If you could see oh my gosh, Johnny, if you could see the Osborne Family Lights one more time in person, but the consequence is you can't ride the People Mover for 6 months, would you do it? Would if okay. If okay. I know my answer. I do know my answer. If the Streets of America were there, okay, if it was set up the way that it was set up at the Streets of America, not residential street, I can do without the residential street display. But if it was set up the way that it was set up with Streets of America, and for that one day we got Streets of America too, specifically for this scenario, and I knew for a fact, 100%, that I would be hearing the following songs while I was there. I would be hearing the Winter Wonderland song that I was talking about earlier that I absolutely loved. I just thought it was one of the most beautiful songs, like literally, like most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It was like the Brent Datcha song. No, that one, the I'm Getting Nothing for Christmas, because I always loved the lights to that one. I just thought it was hilarious. Feliz Navidad, and then a few more, like sprinkle a few more in there. Yes, I would. I would give up the People Mover for 6 months to be able to experience the Osborne Family Festival Dancing Lights one more time. Which is crazy that I would say that, but it's true. I loved the Osborne Family Festival of Dancing Lights so much, like so much. Um, it was just one of those things that, like, I feel like I ran into more people I know when I would go to the Osborne Family Festival of Dancing Lights than anywhere else. And I just have so many great memories there. And to have one more great memory there would just be so cool to just have that again. So yeah, if I had to give up People Mover for 6 months, I think that'd be a worthy reason to give up the People Mover for 6 months. It was just it was such a cool, like, just that feeling of walking down that street, the snow coming down, and so cool, so absolutely cool. Like if I could just spend from 5 p.m. when they would usually go live until, let's say, the park's open until 11 that night, I could just spend 6 hours there walking around. Yeah, 1,000,000%. Crazy, but yes, I yes. As long as you promise me that the People Mover is still there waiting for me. Like it's not like the People Mover is now gone forever, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, what did I do? When will Disney have a Run Disney Christmas half marathon weekend? Well, remember they did announce last week that we're going to have the 12Ks of Christmas. Wait, let me find the actual announcement of it. They just announced this last week, and it got me extremely excited to spend more money. Run Disney Virtual 12Ks of Christmas 2023. Oh, what fun it is to run. We're celebrating halfway to the holidays with the just announced all-new Run Disney's 12Ks of Christmas. They don't go into too much detail about it, but it's going to be a virtual race that I think will, yeah, definitely, I would have to try it out. If you follow me on Instagram, Johnny's the one who has sent things like, if you had to give up People Mover, No Way Jose's, or Ohio, or no, what was the last one you said? Ohana, Liberty Tree Tavern, or Beaches and Cream. Which one would you do? So yes, Johnny is evil. He sent some evil questions in. Yes, oh yes, virtual Christmas, which means we need to get the virtual medals and have a meetup at Disney World and walk a 5K. Done. We need to do. I've done one of my 5Ks for the summer series 5Ks. I'm probably gonna do another one of them tonight after we finish up the show here. But if you guys remember last week, I was talking about the virtual things that my Garmin does. You got. Oh, I just looked at the time. You guys got me. We're apparently we're going to extra innings without me even planning to go on extra innings. So there's the different challenges on the Garmin app where you can go through. Like I've got this one that's the 100,000 step challenge. Right now, I am currently in first place, barely by literally 40 steps over the second place person, and only like, what is that, 151 steps ahead of the next person. That's 163. I was doing the math the other way. But one of the challenges on here, where is it? Is, and I'm tempted to go for it tonight. They want you to run a 15K at some point during the month. So that'd be 9.33 miles. So I'm tempted to possibly do that tonight, but just do like a really nice, easygoing one. Which enchanting extras have you done, and which ones do you still want to do? Which enchanting extras are you talking about? Are you talking about like the tours, or because I've heard the term enchanting extras used for multiple things. Because I'm thinking of like I'm trying to do. Oh, okay, like the tours and stuff. I've done quite a few. I have not done the rhino one. I have not done the elephant one. I actually had signed up for the elephant one for March of 2020. So that did not work out. It was like supposed to be like 3 or 4 days after everything closed down. There's a lot of the tours. I've done a lot of the tours. I've not done all of the tours. One of the things that I really want to do that I've never done before is I really want to go out and do the oh man, I just completely lost my where I was going. Oh, the archery at Fort Wilderness. I just always thought that would be a fun one to do at some point. I've done the old Segway tour. I've not done the new Segway tour. I did the Segway tour that used to be at Epcot, where you would go around World Showcase. I've done a lot of tours. I've done Backstage Magic, the Backstage tours. I've actually done every Epcot tour except for one of them. I'm trying to think which one it is, but it's one that has come and gone so many times that I always forget if it's around or not at that point. The Magic Kingdom Backstage tour, I've done that one. What other ones have I done? I think one of the coolest ones was the Epcot Segway one was really cool, but that's back when they used to have Innoventions, and at Innoventions they used to have the Segway spot where you could like try out the Segways, and then you could get to the park before the park opened, and you actually do a Segway tour all around World Showcase, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, I have not. That's the one I have not done yet, but I do really want to do that one at some point. Yes, so with one of my friends just did that with her kids in April, I want to say, and she said there was one adult that actually participated, but I asked her, I was like, would it be fun? Like, would it be worth it for me? And she's like, honestly, she goes, I think you get more out of it than she was expecting to. Like, she was expecting it was going to be like some simple little thing, but I've always wanted to do it. I always thought it would be a very fun activity to do, a very fun extra to do. But yeah, we did the surf lessons at Typhoon Lagoon. Oh, that'd be a fun one. And snorkel in the seas. I've always wanted to do that one too. I've not done either one of those. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. People always ask me about, like, have you done everything in Disney? I've not. I wish I had, but there's still a lot of different things that I still need to do. I'd still knock off of these lists here. So if you want to be a Patreon pal, so I can pay for them, just let me know. All right, but you guys, let's see if you've earned. Even though we've already gone into extra innings, if we're up to 29-31, we will go and answer a few more questions here. And it's still loading. We have not. We are still at 2,930. So we're going to wrap this up right here. So as always, remember that tonight's episode is sponsored by, wait for it, it's all about the mouse travel. The ball changed from yellow. Shoot, wait, where's the yellow one? Yeah, red. Wait a minute, we can do it this way. This way everyone feels included. Okay, here we go. It's all about the mouse travel, jazz hands. Make sure you stop by. It's allaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All their services are absolutely positively 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. I'd like to thank everyone out there for joining us once again tonight. Please keep on spreading the word about the Wednesday show and From Screen to Theme, and invite anyone and everyone to join the groups over on Facebook or to subscribe over on YouTube as well. We are getting closer and closer to that 3,000 subscriber. Like I said earlier, I am trying to get to the 3,000 subscriber mark by the end of the month. So keep on throwing your friends over, and I will keep on trying to hit as many attractions as possible in our crazy challenge. Oh, and one more thing before we get wrapped up here. Next week, if you are in the Disney area and you want to be part of something special, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. No, I don't know what day yet, but I am thinking that it's time to do something that we've not done for a while, and that is to race the monorail. So next week, I might be racing the monorail, but I need people to help me out by being on the monorail to kind of be there, just have an energy in that video on the other side of the video. Because my first time, I had a few friends that were with me, so it was kind of exciting to hear their narration as I was sprinting my little heart out. And then the second one, I only had one person, and the narration was, there was no communication. It was just a still narration, which was great. But I need a few people in there to just kind of give a little bit more energy. So if you are interested in joining us for the famous Brent Dodge runs against the monorail, or as they say in How I Met Your Mother, Brent Dodge versus the machine. Make sure you join us for that, or send me a message. I'll let you know what day it is and what time I'm thinking about. But as always, thank you, everyone. And remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't